Oh, the Avengers. Oh god, I gotta take this thing off. Ah. Alright. Oh man, that's one way to that's one way to start. That's one way to make an intro. But enough with all that. This is the movie that we've been waiting for. This movie stars pretty much everyone. This movie stars everyone. This movie stars everyone from Phase 1. And this movie is The Avengers is directed by Joss Whedon, and who I heard directed or had something to do with Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And now he's directing the Avengers movie. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is what it took. Like, it took 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, 5 years. 5 years is what it all took for this movie. 5 years. 5 years has been building up to this movie, and can it really pull it off? Let me tell you, it really did. This movie, I remember watching this movie with my dad. Like I said, before I was legal enough to see a movie by myself, like PG-13 means like anyone under 13, pretty much means under 13 you have to see with an adult, and I was 12 years old, so I had to see it with my father. So my dad and we went to the theaters and we watched this movie, and I remember the trailers. I remember the advertisements. I remember I was in school and there was like an advertisement. Oh god. And there was an advertisement for the Avengers movie. Like, it was, I don't know if it was Geico or something. But back then I remember seeing like the marketing, everything, the reviews, all of it. And it was all positive, and it made me so excited for this movie. Like, I was just a little fanboy who wanted to see this movie, and I was not let down. This movie was amazing. It was funny. The action was entertaining and badass. And like I said, it was funny. Like, Joss Whedon is the perfect director for this movie. Like, I heard people are saying like he's the perfect nerd or the perfect guy to direct this type of movie. And this movie stars Loki. Loki escapes from a portal, and he has the Tesseract. Well, not, I don't know if he has the Tesseract. Does he have the Tesseract? I don't know. I think he has the Tesseract. I'm pretty sure he has the Tesseract. He has the Tesseract, he has the Scepter, and he mind controls Eric Selvig, and mind controls Hawkeye. And now Nick Fury is putting together the team. He's calling to assemble the Avengers. The Avengers are assembling in this movie. And by the way, this team, they come from different backgrounds. So when this team come from different backgrounds. They're not going to be best friends from the start. No, they're going to start bashing heads, and it was hilarious. Like, it was hilarious. Like, especially in the forest when Thor was introduced. Like, when Thor was introduced in this movie, like, he comes in, and Iron Man and Thor, they're battling each other, fighting each other in the forest. My nose is itching right now. And like I said, they come from different backgrounds. They're not gonna, they're not gonna be best friends, and they're not gonna be best friends. They're not gonna be assembled right away. No, they're gonna start they're gonna start butting heads. So, so Phil Coulson goes to recruit Tony Stark over at Stark Tower. Meanwhile, Natasha, Black Widow, is going to Calcutta to recruit. Oh my God. To recruit Bruce Banner, and Nick Fury has already has Steve Rogers, so now they're just trying to put the team together to bring back the Tesseract to defeat Loki, and then that's when Thor and Loki is such a great villain. He's such a great villain, and I said it in my Thor review. Tom Hiddleston is just perfect. He's great. We've seen his character development. His character was already developed. His character was already developed in the first Thor movie, and now we get to see more of his character, and in this movie, and we see his plans. His plan is that he made a deal with the Chitauri. He makes a deal with the Chitauri. The Chitauri gives him the scepter, and while the Chitauri gives him the scepter, and he's going to give them, like, I don't know what he's going to give them. Like, is he going to give him, like, the army or something? But anyway, they made a deal. And Loki's, I'm just gonna say whatever comes to my mind, cause my mind is like out of place and out of order. Like, here comes there, and then this comes before there. But in Germany, I want to start off in Germany, where Loki's in Germany, and he's rallied a group of civilians, and he's trying to make them kneel, and then Captain America comes in out of nowhere and like fights Loki, and then Iron Man flies in, he shoots Loki, and then that's how Captain America and Iron Man are first met. That's how the two of them met. Mr. Stark, Captain. That was awesome. Just seeing all these actors and their performances, and their characters' idealism, all of it, to come together and to compare and contrast to one another. It's really interesting, and it's really fascinating. To see to hear what Captain America has to think about Tony Stark, and what Tony Stark thinks about Thor, what they think about each other. So I don't complete silent is what I have. Let me see. What else do I want to talk about? Oh yeah. How can I not bring this up? Mark Ruffalo plays Bruce Banner. So they recast. So the MCU, Marvel Studios, they recast the role of Bruce Banner. Like, before, it was Edward Norton. It was Edward Norton before, but now they recast Bruce Banner to Mark Ruffalo. I believe it's because I heard Bruce Banner, or not Bruce Banner, but Eric Norton either wanted more money, or he wanted the movie to be all about himself. I don't know, but there was an issue going on, and which is why they recasted Bruce Banner to Mark Ruffalo. And I gotta say, I really like him. Like, Mark Ruffalo, he comes off at, Bruce Banner is always, the shy, quiet, polite polite scientist, while the Hulk is this aggressive, aggressive creature, Like it's like two sides of the same coin. And Mark Ruffalo does have that. His mannerism does fit that description. What I just said. So yeah. I really like him as Bruce Banner. So everyone's got their own mission. And then there's like a point in the movie where the team, the Avengers, they argue, and then that's the point when when the team starts to disassemble. Like you can see Steve Rogers and Tony Stark. You can see a bit of conflict between them. You can see a bit of conflict between Tony Stark and Captain America. Put on the suit. Let's go a few rounds. I'm not afraid of you, old man. Everything special about you came out of a bottle. A hero like you? So you see a bit of conflict, and that's when the team starts to disassemble. And what I mean by that is when Hawkeye comes in and he destroys the helicarrier. He destroys the helicarrier. There's a group of not Hydra agents, but like Loki men's, but like Loki henchmen. I guess they are S.H.I.E.L.D. I guess yeah. Loki did mind control a group of. I gotta say that Loki mind controlled a group of a large group of an army of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. So yeah, there's a group of mind-controlled S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and a mind-controlled Hawkeye infiltrating the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier, Tony Stark, Steve Rogers, they are Natasha, Black Widow. They're in the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier. Hawkeye is with Loki. The Hulk. The Hulk is flew off somewhere. And Thor. They captured Loki. But then Loki tricked. Thor, and then he presses that little chamber, the little prison chamber, and drops Thor from like 1,000 feet in the air. So yeah, they're all scattered. So the Avengers are scattered, and now they're trying to get back together. And also, this is the part where it was really sad. It was really sad. Like I didn't expect it. I'm pretty sure no one expected it back then, back in 2012, when Loki came out. When Loki came out and stabbed Phil Coulson behind the back, literally backstabbed, literally backstabbed Phil Coulson, and that was the death of Coulson. I'm pretty sure it shocked fans. And then we find out that hey, we're gonna make an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, and Phil Coulson is gonna lead the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in their own TV show. So he's not dead. So yeah, and then they're all scattered, and then they're all scattered. Natasha is with. Actually, you know what? Natasha is with Hawkeye. The two of them fought each other. And Black Widow, Natasha managed to snap Hawkeye out of Loki's mind control. So now Hawkeye's back to normal, thanks to Natasha. And another thing I want to say about Bruce Banner, aka the Hulk, is that when he transforms into the Hulk, he does look like Mark Ruffalo. I can see a bit of Eric Bana. When it comes to Eric Bana, when Eric Bana transformed to the Hulk, I can see Eric Bana's, even though the CGI wasn't, crisp, wasn't perfect, I can see, the CGI of Eric Banner's face, but I did not see Edward Norton's face in the Hulk's body. Like I can't see, when I see the Hulk, I can't see Edward Norton. I just see like a different character. But the way they modeled the Hulk's face after Mark Ruffalo, like motion capturing. That's that's what I was trying to say. Motion capture. The way they motion captured Mark Ruffalo's face, it was really great. Like I can see, like when I see the Hulk, that is Mark Ruffalo's face. It's not like a different character or something totally different. That is Mark Ruffalo. So great job when it comes to the motion capturing for the Hulk. But anyway, they're scattered. Phil Coulson is dead. When Phil Coulson is dead, Thor is on the ground somewhere in like a cornfield or some desert, some cornfield or savannah or desert or whatever. The Hulk, Bruce Banner, he fell out of the sky. He landed in this building. He landed in this building, and this is when the team starts to reassemble. This is what I love. Like first, they start to butt head. This is what I love. First, they start clashing. The members of the Avengers, they start conflicting. There's a lot of conflict in between each of the members. They start conflicting. They start butting heads, and then they disassemble. Like the members of the Avengers, they scattered. Like I said, Thor is on the ground. He was tricked into Loki into going into this prison chamber, and Loki dropped him from 1,000 feet from the helicarrier, and now he's on the ground. The Hulk is in a building, and the rest of the Avengers are still and the rest of the Avengers, Hawkeye, like I said, Widow managed to snap Hawkeye back to reality. Tony Stark and Steve Rogers, Cap and Iron Man, they're together. They're together after hearing Phil Coulson's death and Nick Fury's idea of a team of the world's greatest superheroes. And yeah, I remember the trailers for this movie. Like when Nick Fury says there was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people to fight the battles that we never could. That was probably the greatest line that I can ever hear of. That was a great line. That's a great line. And it got me pumped up when I was 12 years old. It got me pumped up. So yeah, that's what I like. And then at the end, like I said, first they start conflicting, and then the members of the Avengers, they disassemble, and then at the end of the movie, the Avengers assemble. They finally assemble at the end of the movie. And now Loki is bringing the Chitauri army to Earth by using the Tesseract. By using the Tesseract, he opens a portal, and an army of Chitauri are invading the Earth, are invading the city. Like the invasion happens, and the Avengers, they're fighting the army. And they're fighting the army. They're partnering up. Like Iron Man is. Iron Man is flying in. He's repulsor blasting all the Chitauri armies. Captain America is throwing his shield. Black Widow is like striking down enemies. Hawkeye is shooting his arrows. Hawkeye's shooting his arrows. Thor is like summoning his lightning, and Hulk is smashing against all these enemies. Like they're all doing their thing. It was pretty awesome. It was epic, and I loved it. Like it was great. And a lot of people made fun of both. A lot of people made fun of Hawkeye. You got a man in an iron suit. You got a green Goliath, and you got a God of Thunder, and this guy has a bow and arrow. And I'm like, you shouldn't underestimate Hawkeye, because those are not just regular arrows. Like, did you forget? Those are not regular arrows. Like, there was one arrow that burned, that like melted this Chitauri spaceship. One of the arrows was like an electricity, like an electric arrow, that caused like some kind of chain reaction. So, you know, he's doing his thing. But you know, it was pretty cool. And you know, Captain America and Thor, they're teaming each other, they're smashing. It was awesome. It was remarkably awesome, and it was amazing. And then Tony Stark having a conversation with Loki. Would you like a drink? The Avengers, sort of like a team. Earth's sort of like a thing or something like that. Earth's mightiest hero type thing. I have an army. We have a Hulk. And there are so many. This movie has so many great moments and so many great lines. Like when Iron Man and Thor are fighting each other in the woods. I'm bringing it back for a second. Doth mother know you weareth her drapes? I'm listening. So yeah, it's just great. This movie was just fantastic. I could go on and gush about all these great things, but I don't want to make too much. And then Tony Stark made a comment, said something about shawarma, and I didn't know. I'll be honest with you, I don't know what shawarma is. I didn't know what. Like, I heard a bunch of shawarma. Like, he said shawarma like a bunch of times, and I'm like, what's shawarma? And I looked it up on Google. Oh, that's shawarma. Oh, okay, so it's like a burrito. It's like a burrito type of thing, but whatever. So, but they managed to. They used the scepter. They used Loki's scepter. Black Widow. She uses Loki's scepter. To turn off the Tesseract and shut down the portal. And then Nick Fury, the council. Nick Fury and the stupid ass council decides to launch a missile into the city, and then Iron Man's trying to redirect the missile to go inside the portal. I'm trying to think about what other topics I want to say. Oh yeah, Hulk and Thor are teaming up. They're destroying this Leviathan creature. This Leviathan creature, and then Hulk. that was great. This like I said, there's so many great moments, like Loki, like Thor, like Hulk grabbing Loki and then just smashing him. There's a lot of great things. But anyway, going back to what I said, Iron Man, he redirects the missile to go inside the portal, and it destroys the mothership. The Chitauri are officially they're defeated, they're destroyed, and Black Widow officially shuts down the portal, and then Hulk saves Iron Man, who falls from outer space and into the portal back to our city, back to Earth. So yeah, that's basically it. This movie had everything. I could watch this movie 1 billion times and still be just astounded by it. So yeah, that's basically my review for this movie. Except, not really, because I'm going to talk about the ending. The ending of this movie was, I stuck around for the post-credit scene. Like, I was about to leave, and then the post-credit scene appeared, and I was about to leave. Like, I got out of my seat, and I was about to leave with my dad, and the post-credit scene came on, and I was like, wait. I told my dad, wait, what's this? And then we see the other talking to this guy in a throne. The guy, this person, he stands up, he turns around, and he smiles, and it's Thanos. Like, oh my god, that's Thanos, the guy who's going to destroy, the guy who's going to be the big bad of the MCU, for the next 10 years. Like, this is what's been leading up. Like, Thanos. Like, I was thinking to myself, okay, so Thanos is going to be the villain for Avengers 2. But no, he's not going to be the villain. It's actually Ultron. But no, it turns out it's actually going to be Ultron who's going to be the main villain. But man, I'm pretty sure a lot of people didn't know that was Thanos. Like, oh, it's some purple dude. I was like the only person who know. I'm pretty sure I was the only person. Like, I'm pretty sure I was one out of the 5 people who knew it was actually Thanos. Because I watched Superhero Squad show. I watched the Superhero Squad show. I know who Thanos is. So when he appeared, I was like, oh my god, that's Thanos. I was like, my mind exploded when Thanos appeared. I didn't stick around for the end credit scene where they all sat. Where it was a funny scene with the Avengers. They sit in the dining room. They sit at the restaurant at the shawarma. They sit at the restaurant eating shawarma. I didn't catch that, but yeah, apparently Chris Evans grew facial hair, and he was trying to hide it by doing this. So that was funny. That was a funny scene. I didn't stick around for that scene. I had to rewatch it on DVD. So yeah, there's a lot of things. So yeah, Thanos. It was just, this movie had everything. I loved it. So many great moments, so many great lines, so many great dialogue, so many great fan service, everything. Action, all of it. This movie gets an A+. This movie gets an A+. Cause I just loved everything about this. There's not a single thing that I hated or disliked. I loved everything about this movie. And this movie is going to start off. Thanos is going to start off to become. The Avengers are going to have one big problem when it comes to Thanos. Oh man. So that is it. That wraps up the phase 1 for the MCU. We're moving on to phase 2 now with Iron Man 3. So I will see you guys at that review. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this movie. Like, this was everything. Like, I loved this movie.